Everyone gather round and listen to the bard. She has a story.
In the port town of Leva, on the barren lake, an eclectic group of travelers were employed by a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker. They came from all over for diverse reasons. A druid half-elf on the search for answers, a half-orc fighter sent by his employer to help, a Christian elf wizard and his tag-along human paladin spreading the good word, and a tiefling ranger with a taste for vengeance and gnomes. They were charged with escorting his supplies safely to Barthren's Provisions, a trading post in the rough-and-tumble settlement of Wollington. Gundren set out ahead of the party, along with a warrior escort named Sildar Hallwinter. The party was given room and board for the night at the Scroll and Quill, where they met their wagon driver, Martha, an older human woman. After getting to know each other, Martha encouraged the group to have some fun, getting their naive paladin Martin drunk in the process. Despite some modest hangovers, the party left the following morning. While en route to Wollington, the party was ambushed by a group of goblins. After the skirmish, they captured a goblin named Ted and intimidated him into leading them to the hideout for the goblins and their bugbear leader Klarg. When they came across a goblin lookout post just outside the hideout cave, the party had their first argument about lethal versus non-lethal confrontation and settled on tying up the guards outside. Upon entering the cave, they discovered wolves chained up. Laura, the druid, spoke with the creatures, and the group decided to release them. After clearing a whole room full of goblins, they rescued Sildar and learned that Gundren had been captured under the orders by the king of the Cragmaw Goblin clan. Much to the grizzled old fighter's chagrin, the party changed tactics, rallied Ted, and, with some incredibly lucky rolls, convinced 4 other goblins to join their cause. Thus, reinforced, the party apprehended Klarg and took him prisoner to face trial in Wollington. Outside the cave, Laura gained the trust of one of the released wolves, who told the group that the other 2 wolves ate the tied-up guards and fled into the forest. This wolf, however, decided to stay behind, to follow the kind half-elf who granted its freedom. Upon reaching Wollington and taking care of various deliveries, the party was attacked by some Red Brand Ruffians, a local gang. They fought and killed the gang members and loaded the corpses into their wagon in the hope of collecting a bounty. And so our story continues. Yay! Woo! Clap, clap, clap! Woo! Yay! You're the best! Ah! Oh, well, thank you. Now, make sure to leave a silver piece. And have a great day.
And hello! I am Lynn Andrews. I'm your adorkable DM for Awful Good. We're a new group. I'm a new DM. We're playing a modified version of the starter kit, so if some things sound familiar, but other things sound off, that's why. So anyway, let's get started. DM's gonna tell you guys where to go. Brian, you're next.
Hi, I'm Brian Russell from Wonderful Comics, and I'm playing Beck Skullcrush.
Dave!
David, also known as Hawk of the channel Nerds of the Hawk. I will be playing Jal, a Tiefling Ranger.
Cool. Jackson, you're next.
Okay, I'm Jackson Farrell. I am playing Urunwe Maharlas Tanthiriel, a Christian Elvish wizard, and the best friend of Martin, though not by choice.
That one, Martin, you're next. Or Rob.
Well, I'm Rob. I'm a chaotic evil wizard by day for my day job, and here in this D&D game, I play Martin, a Christian paladin who has an elvish best friend, which is pretty awesome. Of everything, and he's just totally good at being friends.
Yay! And Mary.
Hey, I'm Mary. I am playing Laura, and she is a half-elf, and it has a new wolf companion.
So at this point, when we last looked, you guys had just gone into the battle with the Red Brands, 4 doofuses, and you guys have now loaded their bodies up into the wagon, where you also have Klarg, who is tied up and knocked out. You guys were making your way to the Townmaster Hall. At this point, it is late in the evening by the time you pull up to the front of the townmaster's hall. It appears to be a sturdy enough building with a wooden roof and a bell tower at the back. There is a notice board next to the front door with a large notice written in common. It reads, "Reward! Orcs near Wyvern Tor. Those with grit and stone to deal with this inquire within." It is stamped with the town seal and a large, messy signature. So, what do? You guys have your 4 dead bodies in the wagon, Klarg tied up. You now have all your 5 goblins dudes just walking around.
Goblin gangsters, alright.
I think we need to deal with these dead bodies.
They have
That
people
we're just
that
carrying
pick
around.
those things up, right?
Well, we were bringing them to the sheriff's station along with Klarg to see if there would be a reward for bringing in some of the ruffians.
True.
And hopefully there still is. So
So,
I
and
say
I-
we just go to the sheriff's station and hope for the best.
You guys are at the townmaster hall, which is where all this stuff would be.
Okay.
The main point of this was that Runway had convinced most of the goblins that Klarg should be tried for his crimes in a fair trial. And before you guys were going to rest for the night, you guys decided to take Klarg to the townmaster hall.
Alrighty.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
there's a building. That's the townmaster hall. That's got the orc notice thing, and the door's closed.
Well, I'll see if the door is unlocked.
The door is locked.
I'll knock on it.
You hear some fumbling about. Sounds like someone tripped. And, hello?
Hello. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to the town master, of course.
Well, excellent. We have apprehended the bugbear Klarg of the Cragmaw Goblin tribe. We have,
The door opens up and kind of cracks open, and you can see like half the face of a plump man, with lots of red facial hair. And what's this about a bugbear?
we've taken him into custody and brought him back to town to stand trial for his crimes.
A bugbear.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you like gesture towards the wagon at all, or?
Yeah, certainly.
He sticks his head out and then like notices, first is looking at the elf before him and then looks past him to see a wagon and 5 goblins, and like you see his eyes like slowly get wider and wider, and he's like, I'm not here for any trouble. If you guys are going to cause trouble, I don't want it. You guys can go away.
We're not here for any trouble either. In fact, we've done something about that, and I gesture once again to the bugbear. You can see that he's quite tied up, secured, and we wish to leave him in the hands of the authorities to deal with him properly. We understand that's you.
We do have some cells. What about those goblins?
Goblins are our friends at the moment.
More like our posse.
Yeah, entourage.
He steps out and he steps out the door and steps onto this porch that you guys are on, and he's a very short man, but also very round. Big, like, bushy beard and mustache and just, tons of facial hair. Not a lot of hair on top. And he steps out looking and he's like, what are the other things in that wagon?
Oh, right. Those are the dead bodies of a few Red Brand Ruffians that accosted us on the way here.
There's a bounty on them, right?
His, expression drops.
We attempted to apprehend them as well, but they resisted arrest and, well, you can see.
The Red Brands are not a problem here. The Red Brands are simply just part of a mercenary guild. They're not that much trouble, but now you've decided to cause me more trouble. Fantastic. Thank you.
They were trouble to us.
Exactly.
He steps around and starts inspecting the wagon. He's like, So you expected me to do something about these dead bodies that you guys took care of and this bugbear.
That'd be nice.
Explain to me why the bugbear did not meet the same fate as these mercenary guild members.
Honestly, I have that same question. I turn and glare at Beck and Jal. Would you care to explain to the man why this is so?
Sure. The elf here has a problem with killing. The rest of us, we're fine with taking care of it the normal way.
Normal way. Right.
So, you killed these 4 men, but you let a bugbear live, and you expect me to put a bugbear...
I got stabbed right here.
Well, you must have done something to upset the Red Brands, because like I said, they're harmless. They're just a mercenary guild.
Yeah,
they don't cause that much trouble at all.
They were upset that we didn't let them rob us.
Semantics, whatever. And he waves his hand around and starts walking up the steps. He's like, I can't promise anything about that bugbear, but I have a cell that you can put him in. I have no reward for you for what you did to those gentlemen. But
they were not gentlemen.
It is up
One
to
of
you.
their name was Ched. So let's just be real about what was happening. They were all really big tools, and they accosted us. They stabbed my friend Jal here, and I think really you should be happy that they're gone.
Whatever you guys want. I have a cell. I can't promise anything will be done if he's in the cell. And if you guys want to kill him, it doesn't matter to me. I'm glad that you took care of whatever a menace this is, but now you've caused more of a headache for me dealing with the Red Brands. And, you know, they were fine, they weren't causing that much trouble, but now apparently you've decided to kill 4 of them, so I'm gonna have to take care of that. Thanks. You are responsible for disposing of those bodies. I'm not doing any of that. He starts heading more towards the door.
I have a shovel.
And he goes, he goes, if you guys are really wanting to, like, kill things, there's some orcs causing problems if you haven't seen the sign. And he, like, taps on the board as he starts walking into the hall. So, essentially he's told you guys that, hey, he's not dealing with your bodies of the Red Brand Ruffians.
That's fine. We'll just go put them back in the road where we found them.
And essentially, you can put Orc in the jail cell, but there's no guarantee, like, anything will happen. So are you guys gonna put Klarg in the jail cell?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's take him off our hands.
Not that the Red Brand Ruffians are gonna get him back out again. They were trying to release him the first time.
Okay, so who's taking him in?
Might as well be
I'll
Runway.
take him in.
Okay, so
It's my
Runway,
responsibility.
well, someone's gonna have to help him. Okay.
Think twice before doing a crime, crime doer.
Now
You're going to jail.
The goblins seen Martin start to help Martin and Runway take Klarg out and moving him into the jail cell. The only goblin that doesn't help is Lem, and she spits on Klarg as they go on their way, and she says an insult in Goblin. And so you guys put him in the cell. It's not large. As far as the cell facilities, there's only 2 small cells in this building. I mean, definitely secure enough, but not providing any comfort whatsoever.
I'll apologize. I tell him, you know, I'm sorry for the overly aggressive actions of my traveling companions. If it were in my power, I would have restrained them from killing our assailants.
Well, that would have been good.
I was having such a good conversation at the time.
You guys have now caused a nice headache for me, and now I have to figure out what to do with this damn bugbear. But again, if you guys want, there's some money and coin to be had if you guys deal with those orcs. But in the meantime, you guys are not looking so hot, so maybe you should just go back to where you came from for resting. He looks at you, Runway, and he says, I don't want any prisoner orcs. I want these orcs dead.
Understood.
The goblins start filing back out to the wagon and
Hup,
stuff.
hup, 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 hup.
Are you guys still in the building, or are you guys going to go back out to the wagon?
Oh, we'll head back out to the wagon.
Okay. At this point, like, it's late enough that you guys should probably head back to the inn. And also, you need to take the goblins to the farm.
I'm gonna go with them because that's where I was gonna stay anyways.
Okay, so you're gonna stay with the goblins at the farm?
Yes, yeah, because I was offended as a half orc.
Is anyone else going to go stay with the goblins at the farm? I guess the question is, who's staying at the inn with Martha and Sildar, and then
I'm assuming the inn's going to be more comfortable, so...
Yeah, I mean, all that you've heard is that the goblins will be staying in a hayloft.
Yeah, as long as you're good with me and the wolf.
That'll be fine with Beck, yeah.
Martin, are you going with the goblins, or are you staying at the inn?
Which way is the runway going?
I am staying at the inn.
Okay.
That's totally where I'm going to.
Do
I
we
just wanna
trust
know-
you not to kill them on the way?
I'm trying to win them over to my side. You forget I want them to run my food truck.
Oh, that's
Sorry,
right.
my food cart, because trucks don't exist.
Maybe you could just text us if anything goes wrong.
So most of you guys, I mean, it's night at this point. Are you guys wanting to do anything in the inn, or are you guys wanting to just go to sleep?
I mean, I would assume Martha is going to stay up and drink a little bit, so...
Martha, you guys come in, and Martha's just like, "Hey, is my wagon in one piece?"
Yes. It's a little bloody, but...
She gives you a thumbs up, and then goes back to, like, taking a shot with her friend.
I would like to join in on this festivity.
Okay. So, I mean, they're just pretty much doing, like, various, like, drinking games. They're talking about old stuff that happened and various pranks, and there's a little bit of sexual tension in the air between the two of them.
Love is in the air!
While you're sitting with them and drinking, at some point, someone comes and sets a mug of ale in front of you. And the serving boy looks at you and goes, "I'm the lady in the back." And in the corner, there's a elven woman, youngish, blonde hair tied up in a bun, just kind of sitting in the back, nursing her own cup of ale.
All right, watch me, guys. Head over there and sit down. And I'm like, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for the ale. Much appreciated.
I'm glad you accepted it.
What's your name?
Liana.
Liana, I am Jal.
Nice to meet you, Jal.
So, to what do I owe this wondrous occasion?
We don't get many tieflings around here.
Yeah, it seems that way.
I always find tieflings very interesting.
Oh, is that so?
You should tell me your story.
Well, there was this cataclysmic event, and our family of humans became these weird demon-like creatures, and here I am!
Through this conversation, you guys hit it off, and you're having a nice little conversation in this corner. Laura, what are you up to?
I check the bar to see if they have water for my wolf.
They find like a dish or something, a bowl that works well enough for the wolf to have some water.
Okay, so I get that for her, and then
They also bring out like a nice big roasted bone that's got some little stuff on it and whatnot. So Wolf is taken care of.
oh good. And then I take an ale for myself. Or I
You
ask
have
for
an
it.
ale. You have an ale.
I have one.
You're doing good.
All right.
And your guys' rooms are all set up so like whenever you guys decide to retire. Essentially, I'm trying to set up that you guys have your stuff for the night. Okay, so Jal is taken care of. Laura's taken care of. Runway and Martin.
Okay. I will walk over to where Toblin and Martha are sitting
Okay.
and ask if I can join them.
Sure, you're not going to be a buzzkill tonight, are you?
Of course not. I sit
Excellent.
down.
As long as everything's full of respect and fun, you can
Yep.
stay with us. She kind of nudges Toblin of kind of like she doesn't say anything, but you get the idea like she's brought you up before.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then she looks. Martin, are you following Runway?
Always.
Okay. She looks at Martin. She goes, "There's my favorite paladin buddy." She slides over a shot for you.
He just like starts to shoot it, and he's like, "Wait a minute."
Just what? Remember, just one's okay.
Wait a minute. That was the rule.
Just
Yeah, that was yes. Okay, that was.
This does not taste like the stuff you've had before.
Can't fool me.
This stuff burns badly.
Mm.
And you get the feeling it's a bit stronger than you're used to.
Mm.
You're feeling nice and warm and fuzzy inside and happy.
I do say, a runaway. This might perhaps be a touch more than I bargained for, old friend.
It would seem so. I'm going to flag down a server and order a glass of wine and something to eat, a little bread and cheese or some such.
They have that, so they bring you. It's a nice like kind of mulled spiced wine, a little warm, not too hot, tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
And the bread's actually really good. It's nice and like soft and buttery, even though doesn't appear to have been any butter involved.
Capital, absolutely. Not like you could get in the continent, of course, but still.
Martha slides over a mug of like ale or something your way, Martin, and goes, "Here you go. Here's another one of something."
Capital, thank you.
Martin, I'm not going to babysit you tonight. You make your own decisions.
Clearly, such would be a contradiction in terms, would it not, old bean?
Martin gets British when he's drunk.
That's amazing.
Martha takes her arm around Martin. She goes, "This is the guy I was talking about. This guy is fun, let me tell you." And Toblin kind of like eyes you a little bit, like maybe a hint of jealousy, but smiles and they all laugh and take more shots. So, do you drink the cup of ale she gave you?
I'll say I nursed that.
Is there anything else the in crowd? Yes.
I asked Toblin, so I hear that the town has had trouble with orcs lately?
Well, I don't know if I would say we've had trouble. I mean, there's been some rumors of some orcs causing some trouble up in Wyvertorn, whatever it's called. I mean, honestly, as far as problems with the town, it's been the Red Brand Ruffians. There's causing all sorts of problems, and the freaking town master won't do a damn thing.
No, I say. We have it on very good authority. The authorities themselves, in fact, that the Red Brands are not actually an issue.
Or so the town master says. He seems much more concerned with the orcs, which seems puzzling to me, honestly.
That's because Harbin doesn't have a spine. So he lets them just run all over every place. They take what they want, they kill who they want.
That sounds highly unlikely and, frankly, anatomically absurd. The man clearly must have some manner of supporting structure, or else his organs wouldn't function properly.
He looks at Martha like, this was the guy who was fun. Really? He looks back at you, Unrei, and he's like, there's been raiders, there's been rumors of orcs and goblins raiding the Triboar Trail. But as far as that's not great for the caravans, but as far as what's been an issue in town has been Red Brand. Obviously, in a perfect world, both situations would be taken care of. But we don't have the best town master right now.
It would seem so. And based on our personal experience with the Red Brands, I am inclined to side with your assessment of the situation rather than the townmaster's.
What happened with the Red Brands, with you guys?
They attacked us.
He lets out a heavy sigh. He's like, no surprise there. Take it none of you guys were killed.
It was an unfortunate situation, but we live to tell the tale.
Well,
so there's that.
There's less Red Brands. It's a better day. So
Those
I thank
bread
you for
hands
that.
are no match for us.
He tells you
I look down at my
about
handful of bread. Take a bite.
you hear from him that the last time someone stood up to the Red Brands, it was a local wood carver had stood up to them and was killed, and the Red Brands then kidnapped his wife and children, and the assumption is that the Red Brands probably killed them.
How long ago was this?
Probably a couple weeks ago. A damn shame. Thelnar was a really great wood carver, and his wife and children were just fantastic. But those Harbin doesn't do anything about these. They're not. What did he tell you? It was a mercenary guild?
Those were his exact words.
It's what he's tried to convince the whole town about. I wouldn't be surprised if they're paying him something.
So if we're to deal properly with the threat of the Red Brands, then we're going to have to see to it that the how to put this, the townmaster has a change of heart regarding them, understands the threat that they really are.
I think he fully is aware of the threat that they are. I think he just is a coward.
Yes, I would share your assessment. I was trying to put it tactfully, but
he laughs and he's like, happens to us all, and lifts his mug and kind of like a cheers and takes a drink.
Well, I smirk. I should say my second best talent, and I am going to levitate my wine glass to my lips.
My first best talent, you can catch me in my room.
Winka, winka, winka.
He uses his mage hand to hand his room card to someone.
Man, Joel, that's the trick you need. He smiles, and any other conversations or things for the inn people, inn crowd.
I'm trying to score here.
Joel, you're taken care of.
Yay!
So, the in crowd, whatever, you guys do your various activities and then retire at some point for the night. So, Beck, you are led by one of the other servers from the inn to the farm. So it's a modest farm, and you're brought to the house at first, and the serving boy, knocks on the door and gets stuff, and a female halfling steps out from the door. She's probably about she's probably about 45 years old. And so she greets you and she goes, "So I take it that you're the one with the goblins I'm supposed to be looking after?"
Yes. Yep, we thank you very much for allowing us a place to stay.
Well, I was told that they weren't going to be much of a problem, so as long as they're not much of a problem, I don't think we'll have a problem.
They shouldn't be. They are here on their own free will, and they've promised to all be on their best behavior. Right, guys?
Right? Yay!
They also don't want to die. So that's something.
You see a small boy, halfling boy, peek out around his mom.
Oh man, how big is a halfling kid? It's like this big.
There really are goblins.
It's like a quarter ling at that point.
This halfling boy sticks around. Oh, there really are goblins. Wow. And like starts to run past, and she gently grabs the shoulder. She goes, "Not right now, Pickle." And so, well, I don't know how the accommodations are going to be for them, but we have a hayloft that they can stay in, and as long as they're not going to be trouble and set things on fire, they're not going to set things on fire, right?
They shouldn't. No, you guys aren't going to set anything on fire, right? I mean, I'm going to be there with them. I plan on bunking next to them. So
oh, you're not staying at the inn? The inn would be a lot more comfortable.
Well, I have a little bit of a problem with them not accepting our friends here, and I've received similar treatment myself. So I just
I understand. I assure you, though, it's probably not a matter of the fact that they're goblins, but more of the matter of those ruffians.
Kind of was.
Well, those ruffians tend to employ goblins, it seems, and so
do they now?
That tends to be problematic. So I can understand why Toblin decided not to let them stay. But
well,
anyway,
fair enough.
Is there anything I can get you? Do you need anything to eat or whatnot? I only have modest means, but
I think I have food, so I feel like I'm probably okay.
Okay. So she goes, well, Carp, why don't you show them the hayloft, and that way you can see the goblins and whatnot. And he's like so excited. He goes, "Oh yes, I'll show them. No problem whatsoever, and I'll be good, I promise." And so little halfling boy with mousy brown hair, you follow him to the hayloft, and it's a large barn, and there's various things of hay and whatnot, and so he shows you where to go, and the goblins get themselves all kind of settled, and Carp looks to you and he goes, "Now you're not a goblin, I know that."
Yes, I'm a half-orc, little one.
Whoa. You don't work for the Red Brands, right?
I do not.
Oh, that's good.
Not today. It's like trying to be a good guy, but at the same time, kind of what I do.
They're not very nice. Are you an adventurer?
Yes.
I want to be an adventurer someday. And he like goes out and does like a couple like sword movements and moving around like one of these days I'm gonna be a big adventurer like you.
Hey, you can do anything you want to, and there's a lot of great things for it, but you really have to practice. You want to be good before you get out there.
Mama says that the Red Brand Ruffians are a problem. Are you guys gonna deal with them?
Well, we did a little bit already, so probably.
You killed someone? He's like super excited.
He's like a child, so I'm like,
yeah.
Yes.
This is like the best day of his life. Like he's gotten to see goblins, he gets to talk about adventuring, and like he's met someone who's killed someone.
Killed a couple people.
They're really big and ugly. I don't like them.
They weren't that big. I mean,
I
one of their names was Ched. He had it coming. I don't know how much more I can express this.
Ched Dattenberry.
I went exploring one day over by the old manor, and I found a secret tunnel. And
Did you now?
I was gonna go in it, but then I saw some of those big, bad, ugly guys, the Red Brand bandit people, and They almost caught me, but they didn't.
Ooh.
But I think I know where their tunnel is.
I would love for you to show me this tunnel in the morning.
Well,
Or at least draw me a map. Could you draw me a map?
I can try tonight.
I've never been to Wollington, so I don't know where the old manor is. I have no idea what
It's
you're talking
that
about.
big giant building on the top of the hill. Did you not see it? You can see it from everywhere.
Well, it's nighttime, so it's a little dark.
Mama says that place is haunted. But really, I think it's just those nasty red brands. You start hearing her call, Carp! Carp!
His name is Carp.
His name is Carp.
This poor kid named Carp. Those are the poop fish. Like, swim in the septic tanks.
He's like, oh, I gotta go now, but I want to hear more stories later, please.
Tell you what, at breakfast, try and draw me a map. And at breakfast, I would love to share more stories with you.
Okay.
You've been an excellent host.
I'm glad you guys stayed with us. This is fun. And he starts climbing down the hayloft and then like starts running and like skipping and stuff. And so the goblins are for the most part are asleep. Ted and Lem are still up, kind of just chatting, but they like kind of look like they're disagreeing, but not in a fighting way. And they're talking in Goblin.
Everything all right over here?
Lem looks at you like a glare and she goes, yes, everything's perfectly fine. Thank you. And Ted's like, Lem and Ted disagree.
On what, Ted? I know we've had our differences in the past, but I'm here to help you guys.
Ted is trying to tell them to stay for food stuff.
Yeah. I would love that.
Lem is like,
Do you mean my food cart? The potential
like-
job for the food cart, or like breakfast?
Ted nods, just nods. And
Fair enough.
Lem is like, I'm not convinced it's the best idea. I think her voice was a little bit more high-pitched. Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
I'm not convinced it's the best idea, but at this point, I just don't want to die. Though I'm pretty sure you guys are going to get us killed.
Well, Lem. Listen, the thing is that I would love for us all to get out of, danger's way. Frankly, it would be a lot better for all of us, really. Don't get me wrong. If you want to go do something else, I'm not forcing. This is not a forceful thing. If you guys want to help with the food cart later, when we all get out of this, heck, you guys can even stay here, chill, and then when I'm done with this mission, we can come back together, and I can, hopefully, I just want to kind of get you guys some income that doesn't revolve around, torturing, murdering, and banditing.
She looks at you and just is kind of like, she's not really quite convinced.
I don't want you to have to work for another Klarg. I drop it.
She's like, thank you for not killing us, but I would like to sleep and think.
That's totally fine. I don't press it.
Okay.
Frankly, I don't. I don't like her very much anyway, so if she doesn't want to be a part of the food cart, it'll be better off for me.
Okay.
Everybody else is much more agreeable.
So everyone settles down for the night. Is there any other stuff before we go to the morning? Martin, did you only have the shot in the mug of ale?
Does Dave need to roll for success?
Oh my gosh.
Roll for initiative.
I am never...
Who gets to go first?
Athletics, roll for sleight of hand.
Oh no. My constitution rolls are not high, so this could be a problem.
Roll for acrobatics.
Dexterity.
This is why we can't have nice things.
And charisma.
Oh crap! I'm really screwed.
Anyway, moving on. Okay, so everyone, you sleep. You guys regain all your hit points and your hit dice.
Yay.
You get back your spell slots. Everyone is full health.
Oh wait, I don't have an action surge yet.
I think I got all the things.
I made a spot for my action surge, but I don't get that yet. It's not something I have yet.
Yet. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the in crowd first. Martin only had the 1 drink and a half, right?
Yes.
Okay, you do not run into. Actually, make a Constitution roll.
On it.
Oh.
Respectful. You wake up like a little fuzzy bit, like nothing. You don't really recall though the way that you were talking.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would I be talking any differently?
Okay.
Hey, we need some more booze over here. I like it when he's more refined.
Who else? What time would everyone be getting up? Like, are any of you guys early risers, late risers?
Somewhat of an early riser. I'm gonna walk down the stairs stretching, like my shirt's off and like. Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning, Joel, she's gone.
Of course. Wait, is anything missing?
Do a perception check.
Oh no!
Nothing was going to be missing until you asked.
You notice that 1 arrow is gone.
Well, a memento of my wondrous love.
And
Why
you
not?
remember that that she didn't steal it, that you gave it to her with your information carved on it.
Dang, that's smooth. I gotta remember that. Okay.
I'm up.
So Laura, are you also?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm up.
So as you all make your way to the common area, you see Martha, of course, sitting at a nice big table, and Tilblin is bringing out various plates of breakfast. It's all like, it's kind of like, think of it like an English breakfast, like there's nice big sausages and ham.
Bangers and
eggs,
mash.
And yeah, essentially that kind of stuff. However, Runway, you notice that there is a plate with some nicely roasted vegetables and some bread and some cheeses. Martha has remembered that you do not eat meat.
Mighty nice of them.
Martha's a good egg.
So she looks. Who's going to be first to the breakfast table?
I definitely need some calories.
Roll for initiative.
Martin will be close in there for also liver working overtime.
She, Joel, as you're coming down the stairs, like, she kind of gives you, like, a whistle of, like, attaboy or something like that.
Yeah.
And she goes, I made sure Toblin fixed you all something nice. I figured you all had a long day of travel here, and I figured a nice breakfast would be good for everyone.
Can you fix me something nice tomorrow night, too?
It depends if we're here tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Any breakfast musings or anything before we move to the barn crowd? It's like it's like 8 o'clock-ish by the time you all are awake and stuff.
What?
I was asking if there was anything in for the morning in crew, if there was anything to be brought up before we move to the barn crew.
There is something I want to say to everyone, but I want to wait until Beck and Ted are here.
Okay. So, anyone else? Okay, you guys all eat your breakfast. It's all the most wonderful food ever. Way better than that place you guys were staying at in Leva.
Yes.
I believe this gave Runway
It's not
like dirty
surprising, Leva
potatoes or
sucks.
something.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
I said
Yeah.
much better than I think like the place
Bet.
at Leva gave you like dirty potatoes or something like that. So, okay. So moving to barn crowd. Beck, you awake. You awake probably like 7 o'clock. There's a lot of loud like barn noises and roosters and stuff. As you get up, make a perception check.
Okay.
Most of the goblins are starting to awake too, and kind of like just trying to get remembering where they're at, you notice that Lem is gone.
Of course she is.
And Ted like looks and he's like just kind of confused. So Carp runs in and he's like, "Good morning, everybody." He's like standing like, kind of like the Superman pose. He's like, "Mama had stuff in the house for you guys. She told me to bring you guys in."
Well, thank you very much. Carp will be in just a minute.
Excellent. And he like stands there for a minute, like kind of like, and like, okay, and then he just runs back into the house.
I like him. He can come too.
You guys take another prisoner.
No. These guys, the goblins are no longer prisoners.
I
The
don't
ones
know
that
if
are
you
left
guys
are here on their own accord.
Did you guys establish with them that they're not prisoners?
I don't think so.
They know they're not prisoners. They joined our cause.
Okay.
Yeah, but under the like
You guys just killed a bunch of people and stuff, so.
Yeah.
I don't.
So
I mean,
anyway-
they are definitely friends.
They killed with us, though.
That is true. Do you and the goblin, like the goblins start making their way down?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to
Okay.
eat breakfast.
So you guys go in, and it's kind of like a modest breakfast. Like it's a really nice, like hearty porridge, and it's got like some honey and some oats and some apples and a little bit of spice here and there. It's nice, especially after like days on the road eating just like essentially jerky and hard bread.
You don't understand how much that would be fine with me.
As you
As Brian, not necessarily as Beck. Could live off of beef jerky.
as you're sitting there and the goblins are sitting there and like Ted is just still kind of like he's looking up to you, like he seems really like nervous, like you're gonna do something. And Carp is sitting there just like eating his food but like eyeing all the goblins like this is the best time ever.
The best day of his life.
And finally Quilleen walks in and behind her someone who looks familiar. It's Lem.
Hey, Lem.
Hello. She sits at an empty spot next to Carp, and Quilleen looks at you and she goes, "Well, I'm not one to really try to impose on other people's business, but Lem here was telling me that I'm not sure if you guys have them as prisoner or if they're just kind of tagging along here. But she was telling me of their predicament of, now they're kind of trying not to be bandits, and I think that's honorable. And I'm actually in need of some farm hands, and if I know
Quit trying
Lem
to take my food cart, people.
I know
That's not canon.
I know that Lem is amenable to it, but if they're not your prisoners, I would like to offer to let the goblins stay here, and for exchange can work, and maybe they can earn some things, and they can stay in the hayloft, and it would be really helpful because it's just me and Carp right now. We had some other hands, but they kind of went off. So
Lynn's just trying to get out of voice acting.
what do you think I'm doing right now? So I don't know. I mean, I know you're part of a crew, so if these are your prisoners, then I know you have to talk with them about things, but I just wanted to see. And you see Ted kind of like looking at Lem, and Lem's kind of like smiling smugly of like, yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
and some of the other goblins who like they understand common, like they might not be the best at talking at it, they kind of are like nodding of like, yeah, this might be a kind of a cool deal for us. So how do you respond?
Man. Well, I sigh a little bit. I just, you guys started off as kind of, Ted, you started off as a prisoner, let's be real. But everybody else.
Nods, he's like, yep.
we had our moments, but I think we're coming around the bend. The thing is that the rest of you joined us to kind of overthrow your people. In my mind, not as prisoners. You came willingly. I mean, you would have gotten
Lem,
killed.
Lem looks at you and goes, "You killed the others, and you took our leader prisoner. Pretty sure. And the other goblin that didn't join us, York, is dead. So pretty sure our options were dead or follow you. That's kind of like being a prisoner."
You did join in the fighting, though.
Or we were gonna kill them.
I don't know what Ted... To be fair, I have no clue what Ted told them. So, from my perspective, they joined willingly to overthrow their oppressor.
She says, Ted told us that if we didn't join, we probably would die.
Ted... I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You definitely would have... All of you would be dead right now. But you followed us... We did not drag you into town. Well, technically, we chained you up because everybody else agreed. If you remember correctly, I was very opposed.
Backpedal.
I was very opposed to that. I would like to state that for the record. I get it.
The goblins all start talking in Goblin to Lem, and Lem's talking back to them, and they're still they're starting to get really excited and talking and stuff like that. And Lem looks at you and goes. She stands up, or she sits up a little bit more, proudly, and she's like, "Well, we have agreements on our end, but we will talk to our captors to make sure that this is okay."
Okay, so that's fine. Lem, I don't know what the grudge is. I offered you a job. Chill. All right, we can go talk to everybody else. It's fine. You guys talk to Martin. I realize that I'm not your favorite, especially, I woke Ted up with the head of his friend. But let's just all take a step back. I mean, we all have our role in this. You guys were attacking. We attacked you. You attacked us. Let's go talk to everybody else. I don't personally view you as prisoners, so I just want that to be stated for the record. I don't care if you guys work for what's her face, which I feel like I would have said her actual name if I actually knew it. It's okay. Quilling.
Quelline. Ted nudges you because he's sitting next to you. He goes, I want to talk to Martin, please.
Yeah, please do. We will go. We were going to go see them as soon as breakfast was over.
Okay, so you guys eat your breakfast. Quilling, everything's great and wonderful, and you get more that really a lot of the issues going on is either caravans being attacked, which was probably part of this goblin thing.
Big freaking surprise, jerks.
But also there's definitely the rumor about some more of the orc raiding stuff, and then also just the red brands and stuff. Do you tell her?
Do we hear any more about the black spider?
You have not heard any more.
Okay.
Outside what you've been told. Do you talk to Quelline about what's been going on with you guys? She's trying not to pry, but she also kind of is like, so what's going on here?
I just say what I know, and that was that we were tasked with helping to bring a shipment to Wollington, and we were attacked on the way. I motioned to Ted, and then say that Ted helped us to save Sildar and Gundren. Got it.
Gundam what?
Gundam. And
Gundam.
And that we we're not done because our employer's still out there.
And so she's like, so are you guys still looking for this Cragmaw Castle or the cave or something like that?
We sure are. That'd be fantastic. Do you happen to know where it is?
I don't personally, and just so you know, the goblins have given you a general idea of it, and I think Klarg kind of told you guys too, where this thing is at.
A little bit, yeah.
But she's like, my friend Rydoth might be helpful for you. He's a druid of this area.
We have one of those.
He's not in town right now, The last time we talked, he was setting up for some ruins. What were they called? Tree, lightning, Thunder Tree. He was headed towards some ruins of Thunder Tree. They're up in the thicket woods.
All right.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure I could find an old map around here, but if you guys are looking for these, he knows a lot about this area. He might be worth talking to at some point.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you for that information.
And Carp is like, Randolph's the best. He goes on all these adventures and he brings me back stuff. It's awesome.
he's like Frodo with Gandalf.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Is there any other discussion stuff you want to have?
I wanted to check with Carp to see if he happened to draw me a map.
He's like, hey, not very good with directions, but I can show you where it's at.
If that's okay with your mother. That
And
would be
she's like,
fantastic.
just don't get into any trouble, Carp. But not right now. You have chores to take care of.
Well, after your chores then, buddy. We've got to go meet up with our party anyways.
Okay. And he
And I
kind of
ruffle his hair.
he giggles. Okay, so you guys take off. You and the goblins take off for the Stonehill then.
All right. Da-da-da-da.
Okay.
Now we can be in the in crowd.
Yes. So in crowd, you guys are probably just kind of starting to finish up your breakfast when Beck and the goblins start coming in, and the goblins just kind of start coming in, and Toblin's starts getting up, and Martha's like, "It's okay, it's okay." It's like, if they're part of the Red Brands, I want nothing. She's like, "No, it's long story. They're okay." And he kind of just he glares and just goes into the kitchen.
Trying to retcon that racism, huh?
Yeah, totally. He just huffs off to the kitchen. He's very kind of not happy about stuff. And Martha's like, Beck, I was wondering when you were going to show up.
Martha, we hug because we're
She gives you this strong bear hug with the hard thunk on the back.
Oh yeah.
You feel it.
It's the only way.
And Ted sees Martin, and Ted runs up and gives Martin a hug, and he's like, Martin! And
Ted!
hug.
It's good to see you, and that reminds me of something actually I don't have for everybody, but hold on. And Martin runs off to his room and comes back with a bunch of bundles of things.
This is going to be good.
It's okay, wait.
It's all dead sheep hides.
Technically not that.
Technically.
And I hope that I hope that our DM has kept track of the rules and things that I made, because I kind of may not have that in front of me.
I can in just a moment. I did.
Yeah, there's just different colors and stuff, so it's some of these are going to go.
That's right. You made us stuff. You asked us all what our favorite color was.
Okay.
Can you gift us with the colors of the wind?
Who do you want to go with first?
I'll start with Beck. I'll be like, Beck, now that you are back from sleeping with animals from where the smells like, some of my best memories are from sleeping with animals. Martha
covers her mouth and starts. She's like, oh, poor boy. Starts laughing.
So he gives Beck a very lumpy package of some kind that is very poorly wrapped.
Do you open it, Beck?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You open it to find it's a solid piece, and you definitely would give you some, protection against some warmer weather. The dye job is a little mottled, but before you have a mottled red sweater.
Oh,
knitted sweater.
I also pass one out to Laura next.
And I open it.
Laura,
I don't remember what color it was. What color did I say my favorite was?
Mottled red.
Thank you.
It's mottled in the sense that the dye job it looks kind of like blood, and you're not sure if this is if it's dyed or if this is he sheared his dead sheep and made yarn of that. Like, you're not sure. Laura, you open
Yes.
yours. It is an immaculately knitted sweater that is this beautiful moss. He made
It's
rolls.
fine. It's fine.
He made rolls for all of these as to what the quality was.
That's awesome.
It is this just gorgeous knitted sweater with just like lovely intricate like leaves and cabling down the arms, and it's a lovely moss green, and it's beautiful and gorgeous.
Okay, she
Max, yours is a
blushes.
little itchy, by the way.
She
Makes
blushes and hugs it and tells him thank you.
And he also gives one to Jal as well.
Do you open it, Joel?
Big lumpy package.
Lumpy package. Uh-huh.
Joel, you open up also a sweater. It is a blue color. It's not very dark, but it's not like light. And the dye job is solid, so it's not kind of like weird and patchy. The knitting's a little like loose in some areas and tight in others, but it's a functional sweater.
Martin, you do realize when you made a hole for the tail that it will cover my bottom in a way that will make going to the bathroom difficult.
I think that you can do anything if you put your mind to it. And I hope that you like your sweater. And I also made one for Runway.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, Joel. Yours is brown. Sorry,
Sure, okay.
retcon.
Oops.
It's brown.
Retconned.
Okay. Runway, do you open yours?
Yes, I do.
You come out. It's a mostly nicely made sweater, and it's
You better put yours on.
It's a lovely blue color, and in the middle of the sweater is a stitched out R.
I look at it, and I smile. Thank you, Martin. This is really well made, and it's a really nice gift.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
And Ted, I am sorry that I didn't make these for everybody, but I ran out of time, and I'm sorry. But I also heard that you had maybe an exciting new job, but before you make any decisions, I want you to have this. And it gives Ted the last lumpy package.
Aww.
He kind of gets excited and he opens it and
I look over to Ted and I'm like, I told you weren't a prisoner, you jerk.
Ted opens his package, and compared to all the sweaters, Ted's is perfect. It is amazing. It is also
Fair enough.
possibly use the yarn made of the dead sheep and has patches. It's like great, so it's perfectly knit.
Where were you storing that?
But the dye,
You didn't notice the smell.
the dye is like, there's some streaks of red everywhere, but it makes kind of a cool pattern.
No.
Ted,
It's awesome. Is he the one that's here for orc boobs?
Oh, yeah,
What?
wait, are you here for orc boobs?
For who? What?
Is that what you orc boobs? Is that what you're here
Who's
for?
orc boobs?
Somebody's in there asking for orc boobs.
Not orc boobs.
He's not Mr. Boobs.
Not that one. Not that one.
Negative, not Mr. Boobs.
it sounds like my choice not to have Twitch up was a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
I told them that if I'm allowed to multi-class, I'm stripping my armor off. So I mean, you know.
So Ted looks up at you, Martin, like wide-eyed, and just a small little tear comes down. Martin, best friend. Thank you. And he puts it on, like, you know, gets into it. The arms are a little too long for him. And it's also the body's like maybe a little too short.
Oh my god,
But
it's
he
totally Dobby.
loves it. And
Totally
he,
Dobby. Oh my
and
gosh.
Dobby
so,
Ted
yeah.
is free?
So Martha's like, so I heard you all got into some trouble last night.
Yeah, I did.
We didn't get into trouble. Somebody else did. They got into the back of your wagon. Actually, we need to talk about that because we need to do something with them.
She like looks up and she's like, "What's going on with my wagon?" And like she doesn't even like wait for you to answer. She like walks out and goes, and you hear a "What the hell?" Because you guys left the 4 dead bodies in the wagon overnight.
Yeah, we totally did.
No, I forgot something.
I didn't forget anything. There's nowhere to put them. I figured we could leave them somewhere outside the city.
Ditch somewhere?
She comes back in. She's like, "So were these the guys that you got into a fight with, and you decided, oh, I'll just leave them in Martha's wagon. She won't mind." You know how hard it's going to be to get that smell out of that.
Well, technically, we took them to see if we could get a bounty for them, and the
answer was no.
The guy was not amiable.
You hear Toblin from the kitchen go, "Big surprise!"
Yeah.
So Lem clears her throat. "I believe you have something to discuss." She looks up at you, Beck.
Yes.
She looks at the rest of the crowd, then she goes, "Well then, are we your prisoners or not? Because we have been given an offer of something that might be amenable to us and you."
Yeah, I look at the rest of the group. I'm like, did you guys think these guys were prisoners?
No.
Anyone else?
I was under the impression that they joined us.
Assertion. I don't know why anyone would think that.
Because Ted told us that we either join you guys or we're probably going to die. So we chose the not death route, which seemed to work out pretty well for us in the sense that we didn't die. And then you took our leader prisoner, and then you had us chained up.
Mm-hmm.
We had you fake chained up. Clem,
That's not
quit being dramatic. We faked it like you guys were prisoners just so we could get into the town past the guards.
So what did you guys expect? That we were going to
They did the same thing in Star Wars to Chewie.
What did you guys expect? That we were... Did you guys just expect that we were going to follow you around?
I mean, we can't tell you where to go, but we are pretty cool to be around.
Martin, you have been interesting to be around, but
I know.
I have talked with the others, and the lovely lady at the farm has offered us a job.
She was very nice.
Has offered us a job to be farm hands. Now, Beck, I know you have made an agreement or persuaded some of my fellows here to join you for a food wagon.
Food cart, yes.
While some of them might be interested, I believe at the time a more sustainable living would be best until the time comes that you have this food cart. She says it like she just says it with dripping with disdain.
I lean over to Beck and whisper, "I'm going to need that money back I lent you for the food cart investment."
I look at Lem and I'm like, I understand that you don't like me, but I am in full agreement with you. I am not in a place to start the food cart yet. I'm just asking for a chance that if the time comes, I know that you all are loyal and hard workers. If you would be interested in the future, that's all I'm asking.
She looks at the goblins and converses with them in Goblin, and they're nodding and saying stuff. And so she do
I know that Uranway speaks Goblin?
I don't know if.
Well, he's spoken Goblin in front of me.
Yeah. So you know that he speaks Goblin.
I lean over to him real quick and I'm like, "Are they saying what I just said, or is she twisting it?"
What are they saying?
They're talking about the food cart and the farm, and what would be a better decision for them. And essentially, they're talking about like what would be the better situation for them, and they. So that's what you're hearing right now.
They're discussing their options.
Okay. As long as I'm whispering this to Uranway, as long as she's not twisting it against me.
She doesn't seem to be. They're just literally trying to figure out what's the best route for them. Despite her you get the fact that, like, despite her brashness towards Beck and some of you guys, she honestly cares more that to make sure that whatever the goblins are going to do is going to be, like, good for them versus, like, just another, like, bad situation.
I say to Beck, she's not as opposed to the idea as you might think.
Fair enough.
So she looks up at you, Beck, and then she looks at the others, and she's like, we think it would be best if we stayed here and worked for the farm. And if at a time your food cart, and she says it nicer this time, happens, then you can come back and maybe not all of us, but some of us may still join you in your venture.
In the meantime, goblin-grown brand organic produce.
She's like, is that agreeable to you all? And she looks around the table.
Thank you for taking it into consideration, Lem.
She gives you a nod, like, respectful, kind of like, we're on the same side even if we're not seeing eye to eye. How do any of you guys react to this? Martin, how do you feel about your crew of goblins potentially leaving you?
I mean, startups always have more, uncertainty than maybe you want to absorb this part of your career. And maybe there's, if they got vision, we can't really compete with that right now.
I've got to know better than to drink when he starts talking.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would hope that Ted, for points on the back end, would be willing to stick around, but first I need to figure out what that means.
Yeah.
You do have a team sweater.
Ted looks up and he's like, kind of like, he's a little confused, and Lem kind of like says in Goblin, like, kind of fast, like what you said, but like a little bit more clear and concise, and essentially like, but she's also like, Runway, you hear what she says in Goblin of like, I think they want you to join their crew.
It'd be an awfully good decision.
That was way too loud of a laugh than needed.
Roll credits.
Ted looks up at you, Martin. He's like, what are you asking?
Well, I think we're making a pretty good team already if you want to stay on the team, but I understand if you would rather be on a farm than have fun with us and hang out and be our cool party.
Roll a persuasion.
Yes.
Persuasion.
This is me going, please roll low. No, actually that was, okay. He looks at you and he's like, Ted needs time to think.
That's fair.
You're gonna need to give the jacket back.
He looks like he looks a little sad. He looks a little sad that he has to tell Martin no. Well, or like think about it right now. So, okay. So Lem goes, well, so that seems to be decided. I think we should probably go back to our employer. This has been swell, not really. Good luck.
It's like the perfect music on Roll20 right now.
And so she turns around and starts walking out the door, and the other goblins follow. And Ted kind of like looks up at you, Martin, and then looks down and turns around and follows her. And the goblins.
He reaches up and touches, Martin's face, and turns around and runs off.
So the goblins have now left and are going to the farm.
But they have our cell phone number, right?
Joel gave him one of his arrows. They're good.
Says call for
that's two arrows. I'm down. Dang it!
Call Joel for a good time.
If you want to get your tail wrapped just right.
God. I was gonna try to make a joke about quiver and something, but anyway.
My quivering shafts, yes.
Oh god. Well, there we go. So Beck, you've now finally have been rejoined with the crew after your stay in the hayloft. And there also ends up being a plate of food set aside for you, it seems.
Oh. I'd probably eat that too. I'm a pretty big guy.
It is so good. This place has the best food ever, and you might want to try to get some recipes from people.
While he's eating, I'm going to see what Martha wants to do about the bodies in the wagon and about cleaning it, because I'm entirely willing to help with that.
She goes, so what did Harbin tell you?
He basically said that we'd caused more trouble than we'd solved with those fellas. He didn't seem to like that we were making waves.
Well, one thing I've learned in the years of doing things is burying bodies is probably not the best idea. We should probably take these out somewhere and burn them.
I actually have an idea. So, while I was staying over at the farmhouse, they have a kid there named Carp. Is very, very wonderful. Wants to be an adventurer just like us. You'll love him. You guys will love him. He's fantastic. He happens to have found a tunnel where he saw some of the Red Brand Ruffians. One thing we could do is go over there, check it out. It seems like to everyone except the head of the city that these guys are a pretty big deal and a pretty big problem. And so one thing we could do is, either sneak around and check out everything or, make a statement piece with the 4 bodies. Yeah. Maybe
Heads on pikes.
Let a fire over there, maybe.
This doesn't seem very wise to me.
Which part? I gave 2 ideas. I'm fine with the
Making
sneaking
a statement
one.
doesn't seem very wise because we don't want to attract more attention from this group than we already have. At least I don't.
True.
And as far as sneaking around this place that it sounds may well be their headquarters, I'm inclined to say eye is on the prize. Specifically, our employer continues to be missing. We really ought to do something about that.
This is true. Where's Sildar at this point?
You haven't seen him come down. You can ask about him.
He didn't
Has
like
anyone
us very
seen
much.
Sildar? True, but they said that all of the goblins, Sildar and everybody said that going to the place where they all believed that Gundren was would be a bad idea. Including all of you, actually. I was in favor of going straight there, but so I'm totally in favor of at least scoping the place out.
We do need to save Gundam Stockbroker, it's true.
Tolblin comes out and he's like,
stockbroker.
He's like, if you guys do something about those red brands, I will gladly, and I'm sure some others will gladly pitch in something for compensation. They have been nothing. They've done nothing but harass all of us. They killed our woodworker and probably killed his wife and children. And I'm tired of them. I'm tired of Harbin not doing anything. Martha is like, yeah, this doesn't seem to be a really good deal out here. I think and she goes, I know Sildar was looking for someone on top of looking for Gundren, but I think he was going to talk to the town master about that, but I don't know how.
So many
Don't
side
get quite
quests.
far with that.
I have a so one of my one of my things at being a criminal is that I know a guy who can send messages and contact other criminals.
Okay.
Would there be a way for me to like sneak off for a little bit and like contact my guy and kind of figure out like more about this situation, or is that not how that works?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I don't think it's something that would like it would probably take you like kind of a good chunk of the day to like probably track him down and get stuff sent out.
Okay. Well, I'll bring it up to the group, I guess. Due to some employment contracts that I may have, I might know somebody in town that might be able to get us more information. Maybe even information about Gundren. But it seems like going to a goblin stronghold still is not going to work out very well for us with just the 5. I almost said 6. With just the 5 of us, and that we can actually do some good around town by ridding this place of these ruffians. So I could go off and talk to my contact if anybody would like.
I'm all for more information.
Yeah, that
Couldn't
sounds good
hurt.
to me.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Awful Good. You can find us at awfulgoodcrew.com, and you can also follow us on Twitter at awfulgoodcrew or on Facebook at facebook.com/awfulgoodcrew. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you again for listening to this first episode of Awful Good, and we hope you'll come back to join us as the group searches for these Red Brand Ruffians, their employer, and, well, supplies.
So
Now, see,
anyway,
if we were playing GURPS has an erotic art skill.
you open it up, and of all the sweaters that everyone has opened,
Shalom, my friend.
What was
My
that?
bad.
Where'd that come from?
Mary, what you got going
Opens the box and it says shalom.
on? And it's a small Jewish person inside. They're like, shalom!
I went to set my phone down because it was dying, and I hit the podcast instead of the off.
Perfect.
so Ted opens his
Shalom.
Okay, you're up.
Like,
I'm
you hear
up,
Beck in the
So,
distance
as
like, gosh darn it!